On the Track is a web TV show about cryptozoology, natural history, green issues and whatever else the team feel like making up as they go along. Enjoy!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're very proud here at On the Track that once in a while we bring you episodes that are real specials. We brought you a special about trout. We brought you a special about the DNA results of the research into Zana of Abkhazia. And now we're bringing you a real exclusive. It's a special about Rancid Heron's feet. I was going on a journey the other night for a lady I want to meet. I went into town and then I saw her standing in the street. I went up to her and she gave me a parcel of Rancid Heron's feet. 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 So me to be an arsehole, she gave me a parcel of Rancid Heron's feet. Well, as Miss Maxine said, that was a real classic performance.
I really like the old credits.
Good afternoon, my name's Jon Downes and I'm the Director of the Centre for Fortean Zoology. And I know that you have all tuned in to today's show to see our special about Rancid Heron's feet. But first, I want to take you behind the scenes of the massively entertaining Big Cat documentary, mockumentary, fly on the wall, reality show, whatever it is, which features our very own Carl Marshall. And I think you'd be interested to see some of the clips of stuff that he filmed himself during the progress of the filming of the pilot episode. Enjoy.
Britain, famed for its royal family, Houses of Parliament, you know, fish and chips and bad weather. But there's something else on this little island. Big cats. Yeah, that's right. Leopards, pumas, you know, long tails, pointed ears, a nasty bite. They're a remnant legacy of the old exotic pet trade of the British Empire. And a team of 4 intrepid investigators are gonna find these beasts. John, the old-timer, he spent 35 years researching the subject and has collected more poo than a London sewage truck. Rhoda, the tracker, she was raised on the plains of Africa and lived with the Sam Bushmen. There's no track she can't find. Jay, the maverick, he's an experienced mountaineer. If it needs to be climbed, he's your man. Carl, the crypto guy. He's led expeditions all over the world, but don't show him a photo unless it's proper pucker. Scout, the rookie. He's only young, but there's no scent that nose can't track. They are the cat hunters.
I'm one of the few people who's been lucky enough to see the pilot episode of this wonderful series, and I cannot recommend it to you enough. And that's really always annoying when somebody says that, and you know damn well that you haven't got a hope in hell of seeing it, not yet anyway. And I really don't want to come over like I'm one of these sort of smug buggers who is trying to make themselves seem more impressive because they've seen something which you haven't. But when it is more widely available, I seriously recommend you check it out. Now, this interview here was interesting. It amused me that the first things that the lady said was, "I've never caught a rabbit." And I always want to say then, "And you ain't no friend of mine." But then again, I cannot take my Elvis Presley fixation too far. They had seen a big black cat on a number of occasions that seemed to be coming into the garden of their huge farmhouse estate on the edges of Exmoor. And this cat had been coming into their garden over a period of many weeks, and they had both seen it, and on one particularly notable occasion, the lady of the couple saw the cat walking along the skyline and the tree line, and then jumping up onto a 9-foot fence, which gave the creature some scale of reference, which is something which is surprisingly rare in big cat sightings. So witnesses like this are very, very good to have. They are few and far between, and I think that the Cat Hunters team were very, very lucky to get hold of such good witnesses. And then, not at all surprisingly, they went to Exmoor Zoo. Now, Exmoor Zoo is a very interesting one because, as far as I'm aware, they are the only zoo in the world to have acted upon local folklore about a mystery animal and presented an exhibit that is based purely upon it. And their exhibit here, of course, being Exmoor Zoo, of course, is their Beast of Exmoor exhibit with black panthers. The black panther is, of course, the melanistic colour morph of the leopard, Panther pardus. But one of the things that is most interesting is that although these colour morphs are found in all sorts of different geographic locations where leopards can be found, they are most common by far in the Southeast Asian subspecies of the leopard. Now, the leopard is one of the most successful carnivores in the world and has been found everywhere from Siberia to the Caucasus to Africa, all over India, all over Southern Asia. It's found along an enormous swathe of country, and it has adapted to all sorts of different environments. And there has to be a genetic advantage to black panthers in Southeast Asia, which is not found in any of the other leopard populations around the world. And I've always wondered, first of all, what that genetic advantage is, and second, when it comes down to it, black panthers are rare. They are not as common as the spotted ones in any of the populations. But why is it in the British mystery cat sightings that there are a few sightings of spotted big cats on record, but the vast majority of mystery cat reports from Britain have either been tawny-coloured pumas or large black cats, which are presumably black panthers. And as there's no such thing as a melanistic puma for all sorts of other reasons, why are the black panthers so much commoner in the annals of British mystery cat reports than the spotted ones, which are only a tiny percentage of the reports which we have on record. Weird that, isn't it? And at the beginning of the show, I promised you a special about Rancid, Heron, and I'm sure you thought that we were just being stupid because, let's face it, there's plenty of precedent for that. But believe it or not, we weren't being stupid. Because recently, Carl's dad, who you know is a taxidermist, was sent a Victorian stuffed heron in a fairly bad state of repair in order to have it restored and spruced up generally, and because it's something which very few of us have ever seen, somebody restoring a heron which does actually have very rancid feet, we got Carl and his dad to film what was happening with them talking about it, so we could follow the process of how to de-rancidify Helen's feet. Did I say Helen's? I meant Heron's feet. Sorry, Helen.
Okay, what have we got here? Obviously it's a heron.
Heron, yeah, and it's Hutchinson from Wales, mid-Wales.
Okay.
It's probably well over 100 years old.
Really? Martin was saying that there's something with its feet, wasn't he?
Yeah, the feet are all festered up. Grease.
Yeah, I suppose these sorts of birds have a lot of fat in their feet.
Yeah, herons worse of the lot.
And he said bittens as well, didn't he?
Bittens as well, yeah.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think Hutchinsons are popular because there's a lot of them about, and they're always unique, all exactly the same, but I think what helps them is Spicer, which is better work, and they price themselves nicely.
Oh, okay.
Spicer's stuff is very expensive, and so some people just can't afford it. So,
And was there any difference really in the quality of the taxidermy itself?
I think Spicer's is the best, by far, with the Victorian stuff. You can't beat Spicer.
And how old do you think it is again?
This one's got to be well over 100 years, at least 100. It's in lovely condition now for the age of it. I don't actually know when they finish.
You see herons a lot on the river, but you rarely get the chance to get really close to them, so
That's right, yeah.
so this is a nice opportunity.
And this one looks like it's just died.
In fact, we'll get some to put some in, give it some scale. Loki, come over here. Loki, what's this? Alright, that's an average French bulldog.
What you saw of it.
Here he is. Loki, Loke, you after food?
Hang on.
Right, back to the heron.
I don't know what else to say about it.
Right, it's very nice, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely. You better still won't finish with it.
So you're recasing it, yes?
Well, cleaning it up.
Clean it all up. Yeah, it's very nice, isn't it? Okay, thank you.
If you saw a Spicer, even if you don't know nothing about it, you can tell the difference in the quality of the work.
Right, okay.
Nobody can ever beat Spicers.
Maybe we'll do little videos every time you get, because you know lots of taxidermy come in, like, look, all over the place. Look.
Have a look at these. Put these to them.
So maybe we'll do a little video on each one. Something old or interesting or unusual.
These damn old though, I don't know where they even come from.
No. But this is being well over 100 years old.
Cool.
Alright, thank you.
Okay. Well, I hope you will.
Yeah, they haven't been degreased properly, have they?
No. It's very difficult to do.
I suppose.
Birds' feet are very difficult to do.
Yeah.
There's nothing, no meat in them to get out.
Yeah.
That almost looks like beetle droppings.
Where?
And the feet. It's like bug dropping.
Oh, all round the feet, yeah.
Like as if it's been eaten. You know what I mean? You might, when I clean it, find I've just got bones there.
I think that might be the, well, not quite, but it wouldn't be far off.
It won't be the first one I've had there. You stripped everything off and left me just bones.
Some of these feathers are looking a bit,
Yeah, they're a bit loose, they looking for
look like they're hanging on, don't they? And there are feathers actually on the inside of the glass stuck to it.
Yeah.
So they are coming out.
Yeah, he wants me to spray it after.
There's a bit of mould in the corner.
Yeah. Looks better than what I will when I get that old then.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what it looks like when it's finished. Well, when it's all cleaned up.
Yeah.
And so I expect that we shall be returning to the subject of Rancid Heron sometime very soon, when Carl films his dad putting the finishing touches to it. It's interesting to see how, even at the time, although it had been preserved to the best of their ability, the fat from the inside of the bird's feet had leached out over the past century or so, and how it may well have become the food for some beetles living in there. So it's very, very interesting, and I look forward to seeing what happens next in the saga of the Rancid Heron. I've always been fascinated by herons, and in particular this, the native British grey heron, and they are such surprisingly large birds. And I always remember one wonderful day about 15 years ago, that Karina and I were looking out of the kitchen window, and we saw a huge grey heron standing on one of the fences by what used to be my father's garage, which is now a sort of carport where Graham's terminally knackered old Volvo is still waiting for somebody to take it away. Regular viewers will, I'm sure, remember a few episodes ago when we took you to Irimoti, the little island at the far south of the Japanese island chain. And we told you how, as well as their own species of cat, the Irimoti cat, there is a legendary species of big cat supposedly there, which the smart money would be is probably a new race, if not a new subspecies or even a new species of clouded leopard. Well, we've all got very excited about this, and we've decided to do a feasibility study into whether we can do a CFZ expedition there to see if we can put this story to bed once and for all. And so what we are looking for is, first of all, it would be wonderful if there's anybody watching this show who actually lives in Japan or has relatives who live in Japan, particularly in Irimoti, but otherwise, if there are any people watching this who fancy becoming research assistants for us, in the same way that dear Gwyn is research assistant on the Odette Chernin project, please get in touch. Contact me on john@eclipse.co.uk or cfzjohn@gmail.com, and I will be sure to get back to you as soon as possible.
If you want to support us and help us make more content like these, please press like, subscribe, follow our Facebook page, and check out our Patreon.
And as the ghost of Joe Strummer, who is a regular visit to the studio, wants me to remind you, always remember to ring the notification bell. Otherwise, you won't be told when we've got a new show available. And that would be an awful pity, wouldn't it? And here we are at the end of another show. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed doing it. I really enjoy putting these shows together. And at the risk of sounding like a pathetic old man, I can truthfully say that putting these shows together is the part of my life that I enjoy most these days. So, I want to say a big, big thank you to, as always, Carl, and this time his father John, and to Graham and to Louis and to Richard Freeman, and to everybody else who's involved, to Maxine, to Charlotte and to Sarah. And I just want to say thank you to you the audience, who's each week you come along, you watch it, you join in with the fun, you join in with the live chat, and I truly feel that whenever I do these shows, I'm amongst friends. So, it's over for this week, but in 7 days' time, it'll be back to being not over again, because in 7 days' time, Saturday afternoon, I will be here watching you watching me. So until then, be seeing you.